see the fire in my eyes, bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle, I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes, bitch, it's burning out.
Yo. How you living? How you feeling? How you doing? It's First Choice Fantasy. We're back. First Choice Podcast YouTube channel, First Choice Podcast audio platforms. Check them out. Link in the description if you want to listen to them. FirstChoicePodcast.com as well. Forgot about the website. Come on now. Social media description. Come on. Shut the fuck
It's
up.
been a while. Shaking off the rust.
Indeed, it has. We had a few weeks off vacations. You know, we needed some rest as well.
Little
Being
housekeeping of the company.
Underpaid, et cetera.
Very underpaid.
Yeah.
Today we got another boring video, I would say.
One more division.
Whoa.
One more division.
Way to start it off. A boring one. Yeah.
I mean, last
division
video we got
sucks.
7 views on it, so I think it's fair to say it is boring. But and it's an hour long about, so I'm just gonna cut the crap. Today we got the AFC South, the Colts, Texans, Jags, and Titans. I'm tweaking.
I love that you put them in that order, Red.
No way. You're tripping. All right. Anyway.
I love that you put them in that order, right?
I had no clue. This man just, okay, he's tweaking real hard. But anyway.
Love to see it.
In case you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We got First Choice Betting coming as well. We got, our picks, yada, yada, yada. Got a few player props we got coming into the season, MVP, et cetera. But click the subscription button, like, comment, share, do all that. But I guess we could just kick it off with Alex because I don't really want to talk anymore. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay, I'll put you on mute. We're gonna start off with the freaking Colts, and we'll get to why later on. But they're going. No, it's not. All right, because at the end of the day, at the end of this section, you're gonna be thanking me, and if not, you're a shitty fan, and I will be taking your card from you. But see, I like Brandon's approach. He's gonna wait and see. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it. Getting in with the Colts, it sucks. I liked this team last year. When Reich went there, I was rooting for them, obviously, given my biases. And then they were kind enough to give the Eagles picks for Carson Wentz, which is really cool. Appreciate that, guys. But unfortunately, now they have Wentz. So obviously, I want them to fail. And why, you might ask? Well, you tell me, I'm not just bitter, he's a great guy. He's a great teammate. A really great attitude here. He's very, very good guy. And you guys can't see all of the disparaging stuff I'm putting up in the background because I'm just going to let that speak for itself. I'm not going to sound like a scorned ex-lover. I'm just going to let the facts and the tape take this stage. So speaking of that, your quarterback, Carson Wentz. Yeah, now he's hurt. Cool. Good luck with that. I'm pretty sure they have an out on that contract at the end of the season. Just saying. My man Gardner Minshew will be available. We'll get to your coach.
What about Jimmy G?
Already talked about. Still an upgrade over Carson. Frank Reich, I think he's a good coach. I don't know. He's going to need to be because y'all are fucked. But we already covered that. The offseason, we also already covered that. Please refer to the video from like a minute ago. That will definitely result in this video being copyright blocked because YouTube. But that's what happened in the offseason. But I haven't talked a lot this section, so I guess to save Ed from having to speak for a few seconds longer, I will mention some other stuff. But they didn't really do anything else. They brought in some linemen, which is bad for those linemen because Carson's going to make them look bad. we'll see that later. But good luck with that. And the draft, we took some defensive linemen, which is cool, whatever, I don't care. And they took Kylan Granson, which Brandon is very excited about, and he shouldn't be because Wentz is terrible. But yeah, I mean, this offseason, the Colts' future, it pretty much hinges on one guy right now. And we're off to a great start. So my prediction, a floor of 0-17 and a ceiling of 0-17. I can't speak it into existence, but it's not going to stop me from trying. Go Birds.
No way.
All right, so now that we're past that, I would like to
We're not
be
past
reasonable.
A ceiling of 0-17.
We're past that.
I'm not past that. I'm sticking with it. I think that's a reasonable ceiling.
I'm going to be more optimistic than Alex, but I'm still going to be pessimistic in a sense because the left tackle, I believe, retired, Anthony Costanzo, if I do recall correctly.
I think
they bring in Eric Fisher, I believe, but he tore his Achilles, so he might not even be playing this year or some crazy crap. Left guard Quentin Nelson is also hurt, big boy. You know,
wasn't he supposed to have the same timeline as Wentz? So that'll be good for my Jonathan Taylor stock, which needs to stop falling, by the way. What type of drugs are you people on?
Yeah, he's falling. He's falling for sure.
I don't get why. What changed?
I think people came down to earth.
Yeah, earth from what?
I mean, they expected Carson. Everyone kept on saying Carson Wentz had an MVP caliber season. Have you seen him in the past 3 years? In the past 3 years,
he sucks.
Carson
What
Wentz.
does this have to do with Taylor, man? They just need to give Taylor the ball. Like the only downside is that Carson will be too busy trying to give it back to the defense.
That's the point. Exactly.
He'll get his chances. It'll be fine.
It's gonna look like what the Giants looked like when they first got Saquon.
And Saquon, when he wasn't
with
being
a
hurt,
better
was
offensive
very
line.
talented. There we go.
What receivers did the Giants have then? No one noteworthy. Same with
Darius Slade.
Same with the Colts. They don't.
Wasn't
really...
Odell there for a year?
Yeah. I was wrong.
Yeah, but,
so the Giants might have had.
Yeah, but they drafted Saquon in like 2017, and that was the start of Odell's descent into not being a superstar.
So. It's been that long, and we're still in
I will not stop.
All are haters.
I will not. It is obvious from like.
From
here to here,
Odell?
he was a monster, and then from here on, he wasn't. I don't think you can.
He's not. Yeah, you're not wrong. He's not a superstar, but he is still good, and you guys don't want to accept the fact that he's still good because he was once a superstar, and since he's not a superstar anymore,
T.Y. Hilton has some fucking use in him, not as much as Odell. Jeez.
Anyway,
say their offense 3 years ago was any good? It's terrible.
Speaking of T.Y. Hilton, let's just do wide receivers while we're here. T.Y. Hilton's dead in the water. He's really
dead in the water.
He is.
Yeah, don't want him.
Yeah, he is stomach up,
I
belly
don't want
up.
him with Carson throwing him the ball.
I do want one wide receiver here that Carson will be throwing the ball to. I think. See, this is okay. Well,
is it Hilton or is it Campbell or is it Pittman? Now I'm confused.
Oh, I thought you were actually asking about Hilton. I was like, no way possible.
No, I missed
it. It is Michael Pittman.
It's Pittman.
And the thing that the reason being he hates that.
I mean, I don't hate him.
Well,
I don't think he's gonna live up to the hype he's gotten.
Agreed.
I mean, I don't even think there's hype on him. The man's still going, what, like 12th round in a redraft? If that, maybe later. I mean, the value that you can get on a wide receiver that could possibly lead the team in targets, almost likely, lead the team in targets. Obviously, targets to a specific point are, valuable in certain offenses, and this offense may not be studly by any means or anything, but this man's built like a monster, right? He's big. That's Carson Wentz's favorite type of target.
That's the only thing, in my opinion, going his way. Because last season, I don't think I saw him like anything special from Pittman.
Just looks like he's existing out there.
Just kind of out there, like a fucking Devin Funches. I don't know. Like, that's what I picture his career arc ending up. Devin Funches-esque. Like
a fat tight end who gets cut from the Giants camp.
Yes, that's where his career is headed.
I don't think I'm that low on him.
Wait, isn't that Kelvin Benjamin?
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought it.
That's pretty high praise. I would say that's high praise.
Benjamin did something with himself and
Michael Pittman will do something.
Funches did too. It's just that
good rookie year.
Funches did
had a better rookie year than Pittman did. Maybe we're going too high.
No,
Or
yeah.
maybe Funch had a better
JJ
better
or
rookie
Baker
year than
Whiteside
Devontae
career arc.
Adams. I hate y'all. Y'all are crazy. I can't wait until the season starts. Jesus Christ.
Then Carson.
Every single time I have a take, you people just
No,
bad wide receiver listed here, bad player listed here,
No.
comp him. What?
To be fair,
Ed and I have like
your last
very
Colts
like
receiver
different
crush
likes in our players.
Tore
it
his
seems
ACL.
like.
I can't do anything about that.
well, I'm just saying that's not a plus.
I mean, this fucking guy. All
I
right,
say-
cool. All right.
I say Kylan Granson's gonna lead the entire team in target.
Okay, so
Targets
what's more likely? That happens or they go 0-17?
This is the
They
thing.
go
People,
17.
Yeah, that is more likely. So I don't want to hear any more shit. Besides,
somebody
at least
clicked.
me saying that serves a purpose.
The majority of people that clicked on this video probably heard the 0-17, either backed out at that point. If they didn't, then they backed out at the point that Brandon
they
said.
backed
Colin
out
If they
Granson
were
could
too
lead the
dense
team
to
in
know
receptions.
that
boring.
If they were too dense to not see that I'm clearly joking as an Eagles fan that wants them to do bad so we get a better draft pick, but I'm happy they clicked out of it because I don't want those people to comment.
I mean, Ace took it to heart whenever you said Mark Andrews was just a guy. He really did. So I
We
mean,
hold grudges here. That's been like
his first year. You're not wrong.
been like 2 months since we've heard from Ace, and we're just shitting on
Yes.
him.
I don't even know if that's his name, to be honest with you.
I
And
doubt
that video,
that's
I
his
think,
name.
got taken down or some shit. I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway.
shit,
Probably.
yeah, it did. Then,
Fucking YouTube
Fucking
had
YouTube.
to get us.
That was the latest video that we had like 30 plus views. Anyway,
what about
I like
Paris
Pittman.
Campbell? We talked about.
No,
Okay, I guess we didn't like seriously talk about Pitt.
we didn't at all.
seriously
No,
talk about it.
I was in the middle of
Skimmed
talking
right through
about
Jonathan Taylor as well. even
good
though-
logic, and
yelled about
motherfuckers just want to yell about Devin Funchess.
No, Michael
means-
Pittman with Wentz is a plus.
No, it's not. No one with Wentz is a plus. What the hell have you been
He's
watching?
tall.
No,
He's
I feel like
big.
that's the only thing that
He's
Wentz
tall.
has had practice throwing to in his
Wentz
whole
didn't have a single
career.
1,000-yard receiver a
Alshon
single year
Jeffrey,
in Philly. I
Dallas
will tell you
Goddard,
why.
he
It's
throws
not all
to
him.
only big people.
Okay, first of all, one of
Travis
those is a tight
Fulgham.
end. Tight ends are not 6'1", and Fulgham might be your best piece of evidence because he hasn't done anything without
Alshon
Wentz. He just
Jeffrey?
looked good with him for like 4 games. So if that's the case, when Pittman has 4 good games, trade his ass because he's going to turn into a bag of pumpkins.
Okay. Anyway, I would like to say that Pittman has a chance in dynasties, to actually increase his value to a specific point. Obviously, you got 2 people right here that I'm sure represent the far majority. That Michael Pittman's rookie season, he was just standing out there. So you could probably get him for cheap. You know what I'm saying? And then next season, when he does do decent and he's a wide receiver 3 at best, maybe wide receiver 4, people be like, oh, he had a few games here and there where he had 90 yards receiving like he did in the playoffs. The big stage. He came and showed up.
5 catches.
He's 90 yards.
I'm supposed
That's,
to base my entire projection on this man. Did they
I
play
mean,
in
the
the
NFL,
playoffs?
you said the NFL regular season is a small sample size. So, I mean, the playoffs
Sure
are a small
is.
sample size as well. So,
That's fair.
Sure are.
That's fair.
so why are we
Not gonna
talking
take
about
away from that
performances,
argument.
man? They're,
The
Michael
playoff
Pittman-
pieces, that's solid. That's solid.
I think
I'll
Michael
give you
Pittman's a
that.
fine
That's a good.
sleeper. I will say that.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is in the 11th round. So
I know.
maybe
That's what
agree.
if I heard some names in the 11th round, it'd give me a better idea of how I feel about Michael Pittman. Because who knows? Maybe I actually feel the way that the general public does. But I just don't know. Who's in the 11th round? Can we get some numbers?
We get some numbers.
Do we
I'll
have a
pull up my-
producer here? Can he
Get some numbers.
Can we get a producer? We definitely need a producer. We need an editor in chief.
First choice
type shit.
everything that fits with first choice is immediately a thing.
Sure.
All right, let's look at this. Right, Michael Pittman got taken in the 12th round of my 10-team draft, so it's probably 11th round. Okay, so he got drafted after Curtis Samuel, Antonio Brown.
Oh no! Wait. Was this your work one?
Yeah,
Or we're not? No, we're not basing this off of no. These
I
are
mean,
the same
no.
people that
in
took
the
Jalen
12th
Hurts in the
round?
second round.
I'm not
We are
bringing
not
up Quez Watkins. Don't worry. He got drafted
You're
before
not
Michael Pittman, but
basing off these idiots.
he's getting drafted before Darnell Mooney, Corey
Pittman?
Davis. Yeah.
I would take Corey Davis before Pittman in a redraft, man. I'd bet
I
on
would.
that.
Same with
I
me.
wouldn't.
I feel like Pittman's
And I
ceiling
take-
is Davis, and he's not guaranteed to do that.
Yeah.
I disagree heavily. And,
800 yards, a few touchdowns. That's probably what Davis is going to give you. If Pittman gives me that, I'll be happy.
Who was the other name you said?
I don't know.
Mooney.
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 Yeah, I like Mooney.
I just
But,
like
you
the
know, I
possibility
mean-
of getting a wide receiver 1. That's all that. I mean, and the schedule is pretty nice too. So I mean, I like that.
I have
Tight
And
Carson.
end.
Vegas
Yes.
has them at high upside for a good
so,
year.
Apparently,
I'm going
Vegas
12th round picks.
hasn't followed Carson as much lately.
I mean, Vegas never loses.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
Vegas is.
Vegas also
Vegas.
just kind of goes with the money that's bet. So if people are betting money on that, they're going to go with it.
well, people are. Yeah, that's not a wrong fact, but also there's more to that.
I just don't want to be put in the position where I'm betting on people that are supposed to be catching passes from that man, because I've seen where his passes go. It's generally not to the guy he's throwing.
Hey man, Travis Fulgham put some performances up right there.
4 games.
If Michael Pittman is Travis Fulgham, or just a little bit better than Travis Fulgham, he will be a wide receiver 3.
I really hope, for his sake, that he's better than Travis Fulgham. Travis Fulgham's not good.
Who's the
He's out
wide
there.
receiver
He's,
2 on this team?
The Colts?
Paris Campbell.
Beats me, man. I'll have an answer for you in week 8.
It'll probably be T.Y. Hilton, to be honest.
Alex's like opinion on this team should be invalid.
The entire thing.
It
The
is
entire
completely.
thing.
I mean, my
Like-
record prediction is clearly a joke.
No, I know.
As an Eagles fan, however, I mean, like, I'm very bullish on Taylor. I think he has
Yeah,
a chance of
anything
being
that-
the RB1 this year.
Anything
they got
that
a solid
has
tight
zero
end
to
room.
do
But
with.
receivers, I just don't know how you could be bullish on this
Bullish on
receiving
Michael
room.
Pittman.
I really don't see it.
I mean, it's the unknown. It definitely is, because
But it's
whenever
not
you
unknown.
see,
I've seen
whenever you
Carson
see,
Wentz throw footballs before. He's worse than Phillip Rivers, and he's inheriting the same group of players.
He was worse last year. I'll give you that.
Far worse. Like, he couldn't have carried Phil's jockstrap last season. The hell is to make me believe he got any better?
Culture change. He's back with his old head coach.
yeah,
That
there are a
doesn't
lot of
make you play
aspects that
football
go
different.
into a fragile man.
Yeah, like him being fucking fragile.
All right,
Are we done
should
with
we
this team
talk
yet?
about tight ends?
We got
Oh,
something else to talk about?
we haven't even
This
talked
man
about.
said, "Ooh."
We haven't
Alright,
even
talk-
talked
go ahead.
about Big Mo Ali. God,
Is he a tight end 1 next year?
no.
I
Because
I've
Kylan
soured on him.
Granson's going to be the main receiving target on that tight end corpse.
Like maybe next year, but not yet. Not yet.
Who's going to catch the ball?
The thing is,
Jack
No,
Doyle
Mo Alley Cox.
is a fake person.
well, yeah, he is fake.
May or
Mo
may
Alley
not be a
Cox,
fake person.
No matter how much I hope he goes out there and squashes people, I don't think it's going to happen.
I think he'll be a nice red zone player, but outside of that, I don't think he might. He's not going to have a Robert Tonyan type season with the 11 touchdowns, whatever the hell it was. But he will make up most of fantasy points based on touchdowns. I would imagine. I think Granson's going to definitely bite into that tight end room. I mean, I like him a lot. Brandon's a tight end whisperer. He knows what he's talking about, et cetera, et cetera. And the Colts can't stop talking about the dude. Like every single time they talk about him, bro, it's just another piece of
excited.
evidence, I guess you would say, that he's gonna be the tight end
Have an
there
impact.
eventually, and
He's going to have an
definitely.
impact.
And Mo Alley Cox is gonna be the red zone guy. Jack Doyle is gonna be the blocker. Et cetera, et cetera. I've been saying et cetera all day long, but et cetera, et cetera,
All right. I'm
et
down.
cetera.
Sorry,
I think that
take-
wrapped up
Alex.
the Kylan Granson love.
Alex, Colin Grant's tight end 1.
I don't think
Top
that.
12.
I think he'll be
You're asking me a legitimate question?
tight end.
I mean, has this section at all been legitimate?
Part of it has.
What part was that?
Some of the things we were talking about. The part where I said that their ceiling is 0-17.
I figured that was the realistic part. Yeah.
All right, who's the
All right.
next team we're going head to head up?
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Who do you think it's gonna be? It's the Texans. Obviously, they'd be first on the list if I didn't have to troll the Colts, but I did. Apparently, I had to troll you guys in the process. God, I didn't realize you guys were such like Indianapolis.
I'm a homer.
Homer.
I'm following Wentz. Wherever he
Horseshoes.
goes. Nah.
Oh, I'm done with this video. I have to go join a different podcast.
Tell me why the Texans beat the Colts twice.
They didn't, but
Well, that's what you're saying. The Colts are 0 and
maybe you must have missed the part where, like, for the 7th time, I said, obviously they're just here because I had to make fun of the Colts. Now,
I don't think I got that, Ed. Did you?
I'll send you a memo.
All right, cool. I
Regarding-
think I'll enjoy that.
Explanation of that. The Texans. This team is a fucking tire fire. And if you haven't already, I think you should definitely go ahead and read the couple of Sports Illustrated articles on this dude, Jack Easterby, and how he pretty much single-handedly destroyed the Texans from the inside out and, like, trick every asshole in charge in the process. Because it is a truly spectacular story that you just don't expect to be happening in, like, professional sports organizations. I've heard people on the NBA side that say that a lot of teams are run kind of like mom and pop shops, and that, like, it's not like there's an established, like, fucking brand there, so people just come in and run their shit differently how they choose. And I guess how Houston decided to choose to run it was just terrible, because it's terrible. And you should go read these things, because they basically just let this dude that had no idea what he was talking about BS his way into the thing and, like, lie his way around. And then even when he got caught lying about stuff, the team defended him for it, even though they were the ones that were tricked by this. It's hilarious, and it's definitely worth your time. I mean, this is the guy that thought it was a great idea to dump DeAndre Hopkins for garbage, and then successfully blamed it on Bill O'Brien. That's freaking hilarious. It's incredible that you can be so bad at your job and so good at blaming other people for the badness of yourself. It's like, the man's an enigma. You should definitely read that. He's still there, by the way. He's still there. He's still employed by the team. Like, he's the one that kicked off all this nonsense, and he is still there. And they hired one of his buddies from the Patriots to be the GM, which, if you might have heard, was not on the final list of candidates that they paid that organization to find. So, bravo, Houston Texans. You deserve to be at the bottom of this list, but I don't like Carson Wentz, so I'm going to use second. Your coach, David Culley, I think, the passing game coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens from 2019 to 2020. That sentence doesn't really make a lot of sense. I thought it would sound better than it read, but this is not proving to be the case. I'm not really sure how you springboard from that job into this one, but again, we've already covered this. The Houston Texans are run by toddlers, so I guess it should make sense. Your quarterback, it's not Watson, even if it is for a little bit. It's not, and, like, that's just a fucking mess. I don't know what's going on there. Kudos to the NFL also for handling it with the class that you would expect the NFL to handle such a situation. Friendly hit, they did. It didn't, if you were wondering, but it's not what we're going to get into here. But, of course they fucked it up. Why wouldn't they? But yeah, I mean, Davis Mills or Tyrod Taylor, I guess. Okay, sure. I don't know why they haven't moved Watson already. I guess everything's conditional at this point. You might not be able to get anything for, like, pending this shit going on. But I'm not even sure why you want him back at this point. He's not coming back, and, like, his stats might be in jail. So, like, just it's Houston. They're not gonna do this right. How did the offseason go? Bad, but you already knew that. They didn't add anyone that is important, obviously. My apologies to Vernon Hargreaves and Christian Kirksey, but yeah, I mean, this team's going into the toilet, so I mean, obviously no one wants to join. I mean, people are incredibly excited to leave, so that'll
My God.
tell you where we're at. You thought Randall Cobb got out of the freaking gulag. Insult to injury this offseason, they had to watch San Francisco use their first-round pick for this year at 3 overall, which they threw away in the Laramie Tunsil trade. I mean, I wouldn't. He's not bad, but that was an awful trade, and everyone with a brain knows that. But yeah, they didn't have a second either. They decided to light one of their thirds on fire, so not much draft capital. I mean, Nico Collins and Brevin Jordan pull, I guess, but so would have been having the number 3 overall pick. That would have been really cool, but you didn't because you fucked up. So predictions, bad. So you have a floor of 1-16 and a ceiling of 5-12. I don't think Watson plays again, but even if he does, they sucked with him last year and they got worse. So that ceiling's probably a bit optimistic.
Do you think this is going to be the worst team ever?
Yes.
100%.
No.
And
Not
NFL?
ever. No.
Why do you sound so like confident in that? Like, do you know of
The Lions went 0-17.
Historically?
Or
I was
0-16.
going to say the Lions went 0-16, but like, I mean,
well, like this
there have
is
been some bad teams, and I feel like you can't evaluate whether a team is historically bad until they actually start being historically bad.
And they got decent like players too. And it's just the I don't know.
outside
The
of
organization
Brandon
as a whole was
Cooks.
just a shit show.
Name me one dude.
Laramie Tunsil,
Every
who
time,
they
the offensive
paid
line
a
is terrible.
ridiculous price for, but at least he's still solid.
That's two names.
I mean, defense probably
two
has some
names, like,
replacement
you
level
can't-
They
players.
probably got a couple of guys on defense. Like I said, Brent, the point is that just because I can't name them doesn't mean they're any good. And like, yeah, I mean, they might go like 1-17, 1-16, but I'm not going to start evaluating them as historically bad until
Just
we're
from the
sitting at the
names, that's
midpoint
fair.
in the
I
season.
mean, if you want to talk about names, let's talk about the Lions, and then we can talk about names.
The Lions.
Yeah, about historically bad. They got Brashad Perryman, Tyro Williams as wide receivers.
Yeah,
If-
but they got
I would bet on
They
the
got-
Lions name wise to have less
they've
names.
got a solid offensive line with a young running back and a quarterback who
Texans line probably
can win a few games against bad teams.
I know y'all don't want to hear it, but David Johnson was decent last year.
Yeah, no, I know that.
He's not
I
DeAndre
tried
Swift.
getting David Johnson, but unfortunately the person who has it thinks of him as gold, so I can't
It's probably
trade for,
not someone that you should be looking to acquire.
especially after it came out that he was like a third down back. And I still was sending out like these offers weren't like sending over like a ton, but
Grant, you're not doing good for your like opinion or for your
I was about to just say
stature
that.
moving forward.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Listen to my advice. I'm trying to trade for David Johnson.
I
It's
wa-
2021.
Well, I guess you would need to know the context. I
I don't need context for that.
Whatever.
That's not what I meant, Brandon. I meant the fact that you just said try naming players on the Texans, and then you're saying you're trading for David Johnson after we also named Brandon Cooks, Laramie Tunsil, and probably a few defensive players. I mean, I do think the
because
team as a
this
whole.
team's going to be so bad, and
If
David
we're-
Johnson's the third down back, so that would imply that he's going to get in there and get some passes to him and be a
that he'll
solid
catch for 3 yards.
solid flex play if it comes down to it.
I definitely think.
I don't think Philip Lindsay's going to stand very long. Like I don't know. I don't think he's as talented as what he was
He's
made
better
out.
than Johnson is right now.
I would probably slightly
I think-
disagree.
I don't want either of
Who
them.
are
So
you disagreeing with, me or?
But what did you say? I didn't hear you say.
I said I don't think.
I think Ed was saying he disagrees with me. I would imagine if he doesn't even remember what your opinion was.
Yeah, I have no clue what your opinion was, Brandon.
regardless, this offensive line is very bad, so I don't want any of these guys. I'll take Brandon Cooks on that discount, but this will probably be the year that he's closer to that discount price.
Yeah, I don't like Brandon Cooks.
27 years old.
Oh, I'll still take it.
Feels
Definitely
like
take it.
he's like 31.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of teams and
Yeah.
he's been fantasy relevant every single year almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm writing him off though, I'd say. Just because the situation he's in, he's still good, obviously. Concussions are also right there on the edge too. So I mean,
Yeah, that's a little.
there's a lot of
concerning.
risk you got to take on a team that's not going to be that good with poor quarterback play, I would assume. So I mean, everyone looks at the past seasons and obviously he's produced and whatnot, but you got to think logically sometimes. Like this team's not going to be anything special. I don't have any high expectations from it all.
I am
Definitely a fuller price.
100% trying to snag him in redrafts.
If I needed a dude like on the very back of my bench, I feel like Cooks is kind of sitting in that area where you can just snag him. Where
Very
like
back of your bench, wide
yeah,
receiver
maybe not
too.
very back of your bench, but like you know what I mean.
Let me see where he got drafted in this
My
recent
man's
draft.
gonna have more use.
He got drafted in the 9th round. That's not really back of the draft. That's not back of the bench.
That's pretty
beginning
high
of the bench.
It'd be the 10th round, a normal draft, give or take a few rounds depending on the quality of league mates.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, no, that would be 8th. Yeah, it's less teams, so it'd be like 8th round. It's 10 teams. And players that were taken above him shouldn't have been taken above him, like Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round, which.
But yeah, that's a good time.
It's a good time. But, yeah, I guess that's it for the wide receivers. You guys want to talk about anybody else on this team? Because I'm out on pretty much everything.
Yeah, no other position is really worth talking about.
Yeah, I don't really care to talk about their tight ends. I mean, Nico Collins is a nice little lottery ticket at receiver. We didn't really mention that, but
yeah.
So about the next team.
And redraft especially, yeah, but go ahead.
All right, moving on. Jacksonville Jaguars. Congrats, Jags fans, of which there are 10. You got Trevor Lawrence, lucky baskets. But as part of the rules for acquiring your franchise quarterback, you get stuck with Urban Meyer. And unfortunately, they just cut him, but Tim Tebow for a few weeks. That was fun. Yeah, so Jacksonville, I don't quite understand this. When you look at Urban Meyer, it took this man 10 minutes to start breaking rules. Wasn't he the fine leader in the offseason for
yeah, I think so.
all personnel? You just got to the NFL. This man has a history of doing dumb shit and breaking protocols. It takes him 45 seconds to start doing it. The ink hasn't even dried on his contract with the Jaguars. He's already out here getting fined for stupid shit.
Yeah, what for exactly?
For I think CBA violations or shit like that. I guess having players on the practice field too long or something like that.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't think it was groundbreaking. It's just financial stuff. They're not suspending him draft picks, but it's it doesn't really seem like the perfect guy to reestablish a culture for a team in disarray. So I don't get it. You've got your golden ticket in Lawrence. So you have 4 to 5 seasons to get him to want to stay here. And this is your first move by rolling out the Urban Meyer carpet? Are you fucking stupid? When he tried hiring that strength coach from Iowa, that was red flag number 1. You should have just dropped him at that. As soon as he brought that up, you should have just been put on a cart and just pushed out of town. Okay, whoops. All right, back to retirement for you, Urban. We don't need that here. But I mean, how that even got approved before it was then disapproved, because obviously why that wasn't going to happen. I don't get it. I don't care that he's been a successful college coach. As I said, I just don't think he's the dude I want leading my NFL program. His college forte was recruitment. You're not doing that in the NFL. He's not fucking recruiting anyone.
Carlos
like
Hyde.
Lawrence is already there. Like, I guess you're recruiting him to stay, but that like you could have hired someone else. There is a long list of candidates who've actually been successful in the NFL and are not shady as shit.
You know who we recruited
Who's that?
to the Jags?
Tim Tebow?
Tim Tebow and Carlos Hyde. Come on, man.
Yeah, Tim Tebow and Carlos Hyde.
Goes.
Tim Tebow, what a great. I really wish they didn't cut him just so we could have kept that charade on. I just don't like. I know it's just one player, it's just one spot, but again, that's just another thing that like is probably just gonna rub players the wrong way. Like, this guy's already been here a couple months and he's already like breaking protocol and bringing in people that no one wants, and then trying to waste a spot on Tebow, who is a minor league outfielder and like former quarterback, isn't a tight end. But sure, to me, this is just an unnecessary and very expensive risk. Like I said, there are a lot of other guys with better candidates, and you went with Urban Meyer. I don't see it even a little bit. But sure, I mean, Lawrence, best QB prospect since Luck. Maybe don't want to screw that up, but whatever. But Lawrence, I'm very jealous. Again, you bastards. I hope you screw it up. I really do. I hope Meyer screws it up. You don't deserve it. Maybe you do. I don't know. Also, my man Gardner Minshew is still here. He's probably my favorite non-Eagle in the league. I just really wish he's competing. He's out there. He's holding in them shits and he's competing. But
he's holding in them shits while Trevor Lawrence is taking bathroom breaks. Gardner Minshew,
he's getting them extra reps in while Trevor's in the bathroom. I really wish we could get this man. We could see him be a successful quarterback somewhere. I will probably get the chance to start for another bad team sometime.
I hope so.
I hope it's a good team.
I think he will.
I want to see Gardner Minshew in the playoffs.
I'm going to say Gardner Minshew to the Vikings.
Don't ruin it.
Yeah, he's going to go to the Vikings.
No.
Don't ruin it for me.
Kirk Cousins is going to
don't ruin it for me.
Retire from...
No, he can go to like...
He'll go to the Steelers, Kirk Cousins.
Fuck can he go to?
Then Roethlisberger will get picked up by the Steelers. They're going to run 2 quarterback sets with Cousins.
I don't know where Gardner can go. But
Ben can be a tight end at that point in his career.
Ben could be. He could be a left tackle.
He's got as much chance of being a tight end as Tebow does. I'm going to be perfectly honest here.
Thanks.
All right. What are some big names you want to talk about right now? Let's talk about the tight ends.
Alex, Alex got to do his record predictions.
Oh yeah.
And finish whatever he does still have to do.
They're not losing a single game.
I didn't really have a lot in the offseason. I feel like Marvin Jones is a pretty good pickup. I mean, Meyer and Lawrence were obviously the ones. I did make fun of Carlos Hyde, that signing, which is funny. You brought that up. I mean, Etienne is a fantastic use of resources for a team that just finished 1-15 that found pretty good value in an undrafted running back. So that's pretty funny. I guess no lessons learned there. Prediction-wise, I'm giving them a floor of 7-10 and a ceiling of 11-6. And I guess you could say that's a little optimistic, but I think that offense could shred if everything clicks early on. However, I will say in the preseason, they were running that offense like shit. And I don't know if I like Urban Meyer, so maybe I'm a little too optimistic because I think that coaching staff might suck if they're led by him. But, I mean, they're probably going to finish 3rd in the division, I think. But I could see the world in which they jump the Colts and finish 2nd.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unfortunately, we will not be getting Tebow time, which is upsetting.
That freaking sucks. All right, so
would have been a debacle. I would have loved it.
Best player on this team, fantasy-wise, who's going to be the top fantasy scorer?
Well, technically speaking, it would be Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to 100% have the most fantasy points.
It's true. If it's not,
okay.
bad things probably occur.
Well, Gardner Minshew is going to get a few starts. So outside of Trevor, yeah.
I think there's a reasonable scenario if be it unlikely, where Marvin Jones is their best receiver.
Mm-hmm. I can see that happening somehow.
I do think that would take a combination of shitty coaching to get that done. It's like there is a site, I believe, to cover this, but basically in their preseason game, they ran a lot of stupid sets for a team with a bad offensive line and a rookie quarterback. And
Yeah, he was getting
that
blown
type
up
of shitty play calling could lead to Jones thriving as that sort of safety valve.
Yeah.
True. I'm a lot of people are high on Etienne. I like Etienne the player, but like you said, Alex, Urban Meyer is very unpredictable, and you said it might take Marvin Jones bad coaching in order for him to actually be the top scorer, which I expect bad coaching from this team, especially since you go ahead and you say Carlos Hyde and James Robinson are still the 1-2 punch for your running back room. What? You just spent a first-round pick on a running back. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to him? Why would you do that to your team? Why would you do that to the fans? Why would you do that in general? It's not a good. I mean, I get it. Coach speak is a fallacy, but at the same time, Urban Meyer is a fallacy. So I mean, I don't know. I would say Laviska Shenault of all the players would be the highest scorer, outside of Lawrence, obviously.
I would like to say that too.
But that's just my fandom in Laviska and the reports that are coming out. So I mean, like, that's all that I got.
I still think Chark is good,
I think
He's not
good.
bad. Yeah, he's not
and like
bad.
I mean, he had what did he have, 1,000 yards and a decent amount of touchdowns that year, and he was getting Gardner thrown on the ball. I mean, he has that capability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one's kind of a toss-up. I feel like there's 3 very talented receivers here, and a rookie running back that I think is pretty good. And I think James Robinson isn't as good as his numbers last year, but I wouldn't say he's bad. So there's all of a sudden a lot of fantasy talent here. I'm not sure which is going to capitalize. I'm not sure the coaching staff is going to put any of them in the right spots too.
Yeah. The running back room, I would say, is the biggest headache on the team. And the wide receivers, I'd feel comfortable to a point with Laviska or Chark or Marvin Jones, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take all 3 of them.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
I feel like this team is going to remind me of the Cardinals, where they have so much talent and so much wasted talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to
just
that.
Coaches.
Oh, man. It's funny how that shit works. It's funny how you could be so outwardly bad at your job and get by for a few years. But
and then get a bag. And then do the loop again, where you're bad at your job yet again. Probably going to get fired at one point in time by the Jags, and then he's going to get another gig somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
If he wanted to go back to college, I know he was having health issues, so I don't know if he'd want to after his brief NFL stint, which will be brief. He could pretty much go anywhere and get a huge contract.
Yeah.
And then within 3 years, that I don't know. I mean, he was always a good recruiter, but I don't know if his tactics were persistent. I don't know. So find out. Regardless, you don't recruit in the NFL. I mean, sure, there's free agency, but fucking recruiting guys in free agency is nothing like recruiting college kids. Because recruiting guys in free agency comes down to that.
Yeah.
And that's not up to you. That's up to your owner.
I feel like it was kind of an attention grab for Jags to do this. Obviously, they got Trevor Lawrence and whatnot, but
I think it's stupid.
In Jacksonville itself, obviously bringing Tim Tebow after you get the old Florida coach who won a championship with it.
I get. Yeah, I mean, I know their owner is I think I do recall he's pretty big into the business side of shit.
Yeah.
But this is bad business to me because what's going to drive your popularity as a team is going to be your record. And he's not helping you improve
Tim Tebow bringing him in was
the jersey sales for that. Oh my God, it went off the charts.
Yeah, I feel like that was a huge boost.
But then in terms of respect in your locker room, not so much.
Tell them to fuck off. It's Tim Tebow.
But at the same time, did they respect their locker room last year with Ngakoue?
And look at the tight ends on their team. They aren't good. So it's like it's a reasonable thing to have happen. Is bringing in
I don't think it was reasonable. I think it was purely just an Urban Meyer thing and an attention grabber. And I just think I don't think it's too negative. Like, it's not a big deal, but it's just a little thing, and it's going to add up with Urban Meyer very quickly, and people are going to be very fucking tired of it. And like I'm saying, like, you got Lawrence, you got 5 years to convince him that this is the place he wants to play.
And they're signing
You're going to bring in Urban Meyer.
quarterbacks. Yeah.
Man's going to bring in JT Barrett. Who the heck was the guy that was a quarterback at Ohio State that became a wide receiver? Braxton Miller.
Yeah.
They're going to bring in Braxton.
He was on our
100%.
practice squad for a little bit.
Yeah. He'll be with the Jags in no time.
Who is the Jags starting tight end?
I just had him up. Yeah,
Is
O'Shaughnessy.
it technically this O'Shaughnessy, man?
All right,
They
Chris
had Eifert last
Manhurst.
year. Oh my God!
Chris
Remember that,
Manhurst
man?
leading Jaguars tight end room is what 13
That's
days ago.
hilarious, bro.
Okay.
He's just an extra tackle. He really is just an extra tackle.
I know. That's why I mean
Really
they're
extra.
building an extra offensive line. All of their linemen, or
They're going to need it because their line's not good.
Listen,
so, yeah, I mean, they're going to need
all of their tight
tight
ends are all blocking tight end. There's literally a dude they drafted in the 5th round who's mainly a blocking
tight end at Ohio State. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like they're just wanting blockers.
Again,
Instead of drafting offensive linemen, they're going to draft tight ends.
Yeah.
draft tight ends and have them block. It's the Jacksonville way. Yeah, they don't have fantasy-worthy tight ends, so
No. You know who does? The Titans with Berkster.
Stop now, Alex. Go.
ruined my vibe. I'm happy this is a short one. This is the last team to review. So fucking tired of this. This was not as bad as last year. It was probably a lot more watchable. All right, whatever. I guess I'm happy this team's last. It's hard to really hate this team. I feel like they're pretty likable outside of that weird petty shit with the Ravens, but I never really paid attention to that because, well, I don't know why, because I have a short attention span. Yeah, but like Tannehill, great story. That Henry Brown combo is must-see TV.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really buy this team as anything more than playoff fodder.
What?
Your coach, Mike Vrabel, I really thought he coached with the Patriots. With all this, like, him
He
and
played
Belichick.
with him, didn't he?
Yes. I thought he coached there. Apparently not. Learned a lot here. But no, he came from the Texans, which isn't a good sign. I don't really have anything to make fun of him for other than, like, him being mad at reporters for reporting. I mean, I get that, like, it's a coach's job to be irrationally upset at things around the team just because, but, like, hey, man, reporters report. It's in their name. You're a coach. You coach. You're not there to get angry at the reporters. That would be the angry at the reporter guy. So how about you let him do his job and you get back to yours, Mike? Anyway, hopefully he doesn't come yell at me.
Knocking at your door.
Quarterback, Tannehill. I'm just going to throw this out here. Most underrated player in the league, yes or no? And if no, who is?
Tannehill.
It's probably Tannehill.
I think it might be Tannehill. Either him or like Matt Stafford. But
Tannehill.
I
By
think
the end of
Tannehill
this-
might be better than Stafford. And
Yeah.
I
Tannehill.
not seeing
would
as such.
take Stafford over Tannehill. However,
Crack.
It's correct.
That's crack.
absolutely not.
To me.
That is not crack. You're dumb, bro. What are you talking
Crack.
about? How? You out of your mind? Shut the
No.
hell up, Brandon. Shut the hell up. What are you basing? This is crack? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
For
Oh,
what?
man.
How?
I think that Tannehill is better.
Oh yeah? Give me your. Let me hear your argument.
There is none. I'm just saying. I believe he's
Okay,
better
that's
right
what
now.
I
He's
thought.
better.
That's what I thought. You just wait until
What?
this Rams season.
He's
God,
had
people are
much
gonna
better seasons the past 3 seasons. Ever since he
All right.
took over, he's had better
The
seasons.
first half of Stafford's
Stafford.
season, not last year, but the previous year, was blowing Tannehill out of the water.
You just said he's the most undervalued, and then you're continuing to undervalue him.
Just saying that
That's
Matthew
what
Stafford is
you're
that I think
doing.
Stafford is better than him. I don't. Besides, I literally just said that Stafford would be up there in terms of most underrated guys. I'd probably have them like 1 and 2. But I think you're just underrating Stafford because he's been on the Lions. I mean, shit, he's never had circumstances like Tannehill has right now, and he's outproduced Tannehill, so I don't think you have the ground to stand on. But anyway, I'm glad we can agree that he probably is the most underrated player in the league. So Tannehill gets the award there. We'll mail it to you. It's not going to be very good, but off season, Julio Jones. It's pretty neat. That'll help make Tannehill look better. And for not that much.
Better.
Definitely what? That wasn't a shot. It's going to make him look better. It's going to help your argument.
All right, looks better than what you're thinking.
I just think you've never watched Matthew Stafford play. But Julio, not what the Falcons said they were going to trade him for. They pretty much said they're not doing it unless it's first, and then immediately traded him for a second. So good job, Atlanta. It's really showing yourself to be real. You got a real thick spine there. You know, there are no pushovers over here. But anyway, he's probably a solid Corey Davis replacement. I think he could fill those shoes. The other big money dude they brought in was Bud Dupree, which I think actually has serious overpay written all over it. But I mean, whatever. Good luck. Should be a helpful pickup. They snagged a few other guys. Denico Autry, Caleb Farley in the draft. Pretty solid defensive players. And they took a guy in the 6th round who looks like Julio. I don't know why I'm waving my hands. I meant to do the air quotes. But yeah, looks like Julio.
Drop his name.
No, because I don't remember like the correct. Like,
let's find this man.
I think it's Racy McMath. Or...
I want to say that, but I cannot swear by it. So all I know is I picked him up because I thought it was funny. Yeah, camp hype. Love it. Titans floor of 10-7, ceiling of 13-4. I hope they make a run. I think it would be fun to watch. I want to see a Tannehill Stafford Super Bowl.
And then whoever wins is the better one or the most undervalued one?
Oh, well, I guess whoever – no, I feel like whoever wins wouldn't be undervalued at that point.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Stafford's not going to be undervalued after this season in L.A. because media is going to be kissing his ass every chance they get.
Sure.
You're going to think he's overrated after this. All right. I'm done talking here.
Let's just talk about Tannehill, shall we, for the entire episode?
All
Okay.
Tannehill.
Should we go back and replace everything we just said with Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah, just Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill. You talking about Ryan? Oh, Tannehill. The Titans quarterback, Tannehill? He's pretty good.
I heard he's the best quarterback in the NFL whose name starts with either Matt or Ryan.
Yeah, you're thinking of the wrong guy.
And he's better than Matt
He
Ryan.
sucks.
Oh, he's better than Matt Stafford, you say, huh?
I heard rumors.
Brandon is the
confirm
rumor
these
king.
rumors.
By the way, I would say Ryan Tannehill is in for a great season this year. I would say that for sure. Top 10 quarterback, obviously. Well, I mean, you get Julio Jones and you have it. I mean, I wasn't necessarily disagreeing with either of you. I don't know. I have them in the same tier, Tannehill and Stafford, because obviously situations are beautiful. I would say
I just strongly disagree with Brandon very emphatically saying that Tannehill is better than Stafford. Strongly disagree.
Listen, Tannehill is
Brandon, I
good.
feel like you keep looking higher and higher. What's going on?
Tannehill. What?
Tannehill.
Tannehill.
I didn't say he wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't good. He's good.
And he has 2 stud wide receivers. Still has Derrick Henry back there behind him.
And he's got – who else has he got?
Racy McMath.
No,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Golly, say it.
Ferkser?
Anthony Ferguson. Brandon,
No,
Anthony
I don't
Ferguson.
like this team for their tight ends anymore.
Top 5
After
tight
10
ends.
minutes
It's such a shame. I was such a huge fan of Delaney Walker. And then he got hurt.
And then Jonnu.
Retired. And then Jonnu. Now it's Ferkser, and I feel obligated to like him, but I'm not
You should
on
be able to
that ship.
draft him.
You should draft him every single.
He's
every
probably
single draft
like
you do.
is he in the top 15 in ADP? Getting drafted?
I doubt it.
Oh,
Nah, I think
I
Austin
would
Hooper
also doubt
was
it.
even outside top 15.
What? Hooper. I mean, I don't think he's going to be that great,
Might
but
be.
I feel like he's got one of the better odds of landing in there. 'Cause, yeah. But Ferkster, he's really good.
He exists.
Is he good?
No, I don't think so. I have
Yeah, I
no
don't know.
idea.
You'd have to ask
I
him.
don't think they're going to use their tight ends very much.
Maybe
I
he'll
think
just
the
blow
same
up
as
and he'll
normal.
finish tight end 4.
Maybe he gets a bunch of touchdowns and he does finish tight end 4. Who knows?
Maybe Logan
Maybe he-
Thomas is
Just
finished
like the
tight end
next
1.
Tunyon. Makes sense.
Same universe, I'm assuming, Alex.
Ed's got to go throw up real quick.
Yeah.
This is the universe where the Colts went 0-17.
And also the same universe where I accepted the trade and Logan Thomas was my tight end 1 and he finished tight end 1 and I won a championship. And
All right. What do people do with Derrick Henry in Dynasty?
You keep him for at least this season.
Yeah,
You see, this is a problem
it is a problem, isn't it?
because he's gonna have like 20 plus touchdowns this year.
He's gonna be crazy, but
The thing
I'm a
is,
year old, so
there's a cliff coming. There has to be a cliff coming. And this season, he's going to be like one of the top. He's definitely top 5. I'd probably say top 3.
I'd say he's cemented in top 5. Top 3's obviously within possibility, but top 5 for sure.
I'm riding it out this year. If only because the point of fantasy football is to win. And
if you have Derrick Henry, you likely are winning or in a situation.
This
to win,
greatly
I would agree.
increases my chances.
Yeah, and I feel like what you can trade Henry, like you're not gonna Derrick. You're not gonna get
value out of it. Honestly, by next offseason, his value might have gone even lower, even if he has a similar season. So at that point, you might just be best served holding on to him
and just hope that he's the outlier.
And just accepting that eventually it's going to stop.
That's how I feel.
And that you're going to get called holding the bag. But maybe it would be better to hold out the bag throughout the last few seasons than to ship him off for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I would like to admit that I did trade Derrick Henry in a league that I was in, indeed. It's a super flex league. Well,
I did too, and that was a mistake.
Well, you traded him pre-break.
Me?
Yeah.
No, Brandon.
Yeah.
Well, I traded him just recently, last month. It was him and a 4th round pick. This is a super flex league, so picks go deep, picks are more valuable early on. So it was Derrick Henry in the 4th, I think, in 2022, this upcoming year, for Allen Robinson in the 2023 first. The 2023 class pretty stacked. My team was not looking competable as I adopted it, and Drew Lock was my second quarterback. And so I chalked it, and I said, give me Allen Robinson, who I like a lot, and then the 1st round pick in 2023, which could be a pretty good pick. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's decent value.
Well, that's not bad.
Alex still looks very sick to his stomach.
It depends, if your team really sucked or not. Because if your team sucked, I would have auctioned him off to the highest bidder. And if that was the highest bidder,
it was.
Is what it is.
To be honest, it was the only bidder.
A wide receiver 1 and a draft pick. It's not bad.
My team consisted of, at that time, it was Derrick Henry, David Montgomery, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson. I think I got Darren Waller. I think that's pretty much it.
Seems pretty solid outside of that second quarterback.
Yeah.
But I hate Superflex, so.
Yeah, I didn't like any of the players I had. But, Derrick Henry this year, top 5 running back for sure. Top 3 in my eyes, I would assume. I think he's in the tier with CMC, Cook, and Kamara. That's one tier, I would say. And he's in that, John, for sure. Alex, how angry would you get how angry? I know you get angry because you see these things. People taking Derrick Henry over CMC.
In Dynasty?
No. In redraft this year.
I get it.
It's understandable? Okay, I didn't.
You have
a
little
understand it.
PTSD from McCaffrey missing 12 games last year. Now, anyone saying that he should fall out of the 1st round deserves to be tarred and feathered. But,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That's
yeah.
just more for me, yeah.
Alrighty. Well, anything else?
Dead.
On running backs?
Wide receivers, tight ends, quarterbacks.
Talking about tight ends, I guess wide receivers.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown
and
is
then Julio
good.
Jones.
Julio
and then
Jones is also
that's
good.
it. That's it. That's it. If you're looking to roster anyone beyond those two, you were in a very deep league.
Yeah.
You think Julio and AJB are 2 top 24 wide receivers this year?
They're on the field, yes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think a pretty easy yes, as long as they're on the field.
I was doing my rough rankings, and AJB was the top 24 when Julio was 26th. So he's right there.
I would have to keep Julio in that top 24. I know he doesn't really like. I feel like the injury tag on him is probably a little overblown. Like he hasn't missed as much time as I feel like some people act like he has. But I mean, like when you start talking about like guys in their 30s that are physical freaks, like sometimes that shit is a problem. But I mean, I think as long as they're both on the field, they should be treated as such.
That's fair.
I mean, I think Brown is like top 5 at the position.
Top 5 this year?
So I can see it. Yeah, if he's healthy, yeah.
Yeesh.
You can definitely see it.
Yeah, I'm not going to even comment on it. I'm at 12.
Love me some AJ Brown. I mean, I think he's a 1, so like 12 isn't really that offensive to me.
Yeah.
I know that they like have Henry and shit, but I just feel like the majority of their targets or the majority of their snaps are going to those 3 players.
100%, yeah.
So I'm not really too concerned about workload. I get it that AJ Brown has a bit of a lesser workload than some of the other star receivers, and like you're kind of relying on like a Nick Chubb like ability for him to get more out of his touches than some guys get out of theirs. But I think he can do that. So
true. I mean, he showed it last year. He definitely can. And the more attention on the other players and stuff now, yeah. I get
Julio is Julio. I mean, I think that, like if Julio stayed healthy, he could have a throwback, like be the wide receiver 7 this year.
That'd be absurd. 2 top 10 wide receivers. That would be something. Tannehill wins MVP in that situation. Every time.
Sure. Just might. But he's not underrated anymore. Then we have to find a new most underrated.
I guess
player.
it would be. I guess
Kirk Cousins.
that Kirk Cousins. Yes.
All
yeah,
right.
that's gonna be it.
That has to be it.
We must be burnt out on these divisional videos. That sentence just came out of someone's mouth.
Yeah, that was the end of these.
It's gonna be great come like week 6 when Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins get in a full blown fist fight on the sideline.
That's gonna be nice.
After the Vikings are getting crushed.
And then they trade for Gardner Minshew. I see it happening.
Don't say that. Don't say that to me.
It's a solid thing to have done.
Say that to me. Also, like,
done.
don't say that to me. I don't want that.
He doesn't need
that.
He doesn't want that.
That's not good for my mental health. If Gardner Minshew goes to Minnesota, like, I might have to. No, just don't say that. It's just first choice fantasy with all of your nightmare fuel to get you through to Halloween.
Yeah. Ed's just slowly saying.
Do so.
Fighting literally. You guys get the gist. Dislike, comment, unsubscribe. Catch you next week.
Comment bad thoughts.
Wait. What are we catching
Comment
next
scenarios.
week with?
What'd you say?
What are we catching him next week with?
We're going to give another rookie ranking, so we'll have plenty of arguing over Javonte Williams and Terrace Marshall and all of these guys. And we're going to talk about whose ADPs don't make any sense and who you shouldn't draft and who you should.
Michael Pittman?
His name may or may not come up. I don't know. You'll have to watch the
Probably
video.
All right, that is
That's it.
the end.
That is it.
Adios.
Later.
Bye.